this year we went to Newfoundland, or Newfoundland, depending on who you're talking to, the most easterly province of Canada. It sits beneath the Greenland Sea and the Arctic Ocean, and in spring and early summer, icebergs drift down the coastline, sometimes just offshore. Remember, it was an iceberg off that coast that so catastrophically got between the Titanic and New York. Now, the last time we were there, we spoke to Fairytown resident Charlie Dunn, who wonderfully described looking out his window at those giant dying beauties drifting south towards their oblivion. But in the past week or so, a true wonder has appeared, majestic, magnificent, and doomed. One photo of it has already been shared 50,000 times. And this time, our tour guide is indeed a tour guide, local man Cecil Stockley, also known as the Iceberg Man, who established Twillingate Island boat tours in 1984 and has had something approaching a love affair with icebergs ever since.
33 years ago, yeah. I've been doing it ever since. Did 2 today and 3 every day. Today the weather kind of got nasty in the evening, so we had to stop touring, but I do 3 a day, 7 days a week. I've been doing it now since 1984.
And do you ever lose your sense of wonder, or are they still beautiful and magical?
They can be look like ice sometimes. But for most part, there's two factors to it. There's the unusual, like that iceberg of Doreen got the picture, and I'm still after that iceberg right now. I was out to that one twice today, and it's dealing with people from all parts of the world that come for icebergs and the personalities and the culture they bring forward and immerse into our culture and our history, and I have a real good time.
So you say you're still after that one in the picture. So that's a beautiful iceberg. So you just follow it, do you? You just get out in your boat and... Well,
that iceberg is drawn about 350 feet of water, and it's such an unusual iceberg in its shape. It's like, from my perspective, looking at the iceberg objectively compared to other icebergs I've seen others like at that shape of ice. But, there was something unique about this one's breakdown that gave it that shape of huge ice. Probably as high iceberg I ever seen. And even today, because there's a couple of pictures there on my Facebook page, Iceberg Man Facebook page, which I put up tonight off the same iceberg. And that was probably like months after Doreen put. So it's a very interesting iceberg, that one. Great shape.
Can you tell me about the noise they make as they break up and fall apart?
Yeah, well, like you get to know icebergs, you get to study icebergs like a tabular iceberg. I know how they break apart, and then I follow a tabular iceberg, or for most part, that's where most icebergs come from. It's the big flat icebergs when they leave to come down, and they break up as they get down there. But like the way they break up, and eventually they get down to a pinnacle iceberg. They seem to always show their most beauty and vulnerability at the end of their lives,
The most beauty and vulnerability at the end of their lives. See, Cecil, you're talking as if they were not quite human, but there's something more than just ice there, isn't there?
They have a personality. You don't trust an iceberg. There's a lot about an iceberg that is what you see is the 7% above the water, or the 10% what they say. And there's a lot about an iceberg you just don't trust it. It's what they carry. It's their history. It's like I wonder sometimes, what came first, the chicken and the egg roll? Is it did the Titanic make the iceberg what it is today, or is it the history of mankind that the people interested in the iceberg, its beauty, and so on and so forth? I do have a falling enough. I don't know what I would put it, but I have a connection with the iceberg for sure, right?
Ain't that the truth? Cecil Stockley, who's called the Iceberg Man, been doing tours 2 or 3 times a day for 33 years. He totally loves them. The last guy we talked to from Newfoundland, and that's what the locals say, Charlie Dunn, was similarly engaging and enchanting as interview talent. What a beautiful place to visit one day if you are in the neighbourhood.